Headlines. A 23-year-old man nursing wounds after being electrocuted in a failed ZESCO cable theft at UTH. Load shedding hours reduced to 8 and split into 4-hour intervals. Mtendere East residents call on the Zambia National Service, ZNS, to expedite works on roads in the area. And in international news, Adventist leaders review and solidify evangelism initiatives for 2023. Details follow after this.
My wife, bumper harvest. Eh?
Daddy,
I'm telling you.
your new fertilizer. Niamini.
Eh?
Iya, Daddy,
Tell you.
Hello. My instructions. Maya kunkabuno bwino mwamene.
I went to ETG, and now we are enjoying the benefits of using a blended D-compound fertilizer as basil and Kynoplus as top dressing fertilizer instead of urea that we used last year. Now look here. This year, it has given me 4 tons. 4 tons. But last year, it was only 1.8 tons. Kynoplus has given all my crops the nitrogen that I paid for. Wow. It has saved me money. Telling you.
Understanding the difference between soil and crop-specific fertilizers, therein lies strength for Kynoplus blended fertilizers. More value in a bag. Available in the ETG depots countrywide, with a network providing agronomy services to farmers across the country. Kynoplus. Enhanced efficiency through innovation. A product of ETG.
Thank you so much for joining us. You are catching us live on Top Star Channel 450, Movie TV Bouquet on channel number 25, as well as our live stream on social media platforms. Facebook, the handle being Hope Channel Zambia, and on YouTube. The handle still remains Hope Channel Zambia. You do well to subscribe and click the notification button in order for you to get a notification of our programs. I'm Bright Sinkozi with the details, and on sign language I have George Kalimukwa. The details. A 23-year-old man of Misisi compound in Lusaka is nursing 27% burns after being electrocuted by power yesterday between 16 and 17 hours after he attempted to steal cables at the University Teaching Hospital ZESCO transformer, which resulted into a blackout in some parts of the hospital. UTH Public Relations Officer Natalie Mashikolo, who identified the man as Moses Mwila of Misisi compound, said the victim is currently in a stable condition and admitted in Ward G11 and is likely to be discharged soon. A check by Hope News found Moses on a hospital bed being attended to by medical personnel while cuffed to the bed on both hands and legs. We would like to warn our sensitive viewers that some of the pictures you're about to see might be disturbing.
Inspired by load shedding, brave Misisi resident identified as Moses attempted to manually load shed Zambia's highest health facility, University Teaching Hospital in Lusaka yesterday, in broad daylight around 16 to 17 hours. In a bid to loot ZESCO power cables, Moses trespassed UTH ZESCO substation and attempted to pull what he perceived to be harmless cables, but was received with an overwhelming charge of electricity upon coming in contact with the cables that shocked him out. Due to his act, some parts of UTH experienced a blackout. Despite his efforts to disturb the operations at UTH, the gallant health workers came to his aid and is undergoing medical treatment. UTH Public Relations Officer Natalie Mashikolo told Hope News in an interview that Moses is in a stable condition.
Yesterday, around between 16 and 17, received a report of a person who had been burnt, and upon us finding out further, we were told that it was a young man, and we've established that his name is Moses Mwila and he's 23 years old. So what happened, because we follow the case on the file, and so we're told that he went to one of our ZESCO installations within UTH and he tried to steal some cables from there, and that's how he got electrocuted. So apparently, when he managed to come out of there, some nurses saw him, and that's how they brought him to our casualty for him to be admitted. So his burns are 27%. So he's been burnt from the face and part of his upper body and the arm. The theater, main ICU, and the oxygen plant, all those were not affected. It's just some offices that were affected because the hospital is on different lines. So only certain offices were affected by that short power cut. The only thing that we know is that he's coming from Mississippi compound, and he told us that he lives with his grandmother. So we are hoping that if the grandmother or anybody else managed to see any of the clips that will be shown today, he might have somebody by the bedside by tomorrow.
Ms. Mashkolo has a word for the general public.
And it's not good. You know, you come to a hospital. This is a hospital. It's a hospital setting. There are patients here. There are operations going on. You know, there are people on oxygen. Anything can happen. And so we just want to tell people that, you know, this is not the time to come to a hospital and do such things, even anywhere else. So keep away from anything that is, as long as it's ZESCO and it's electricity, just keep away. When it's load shedding, don't think the things are off and done. The things are still live. They tell us, they've educated us. So what happened to him is quite unfortunate, but it's also a lesson to other people.
Police and ZESCO are yet to issue a statement on the matter. Esnatsikas, We Hope News, Lusaka.
Now, Acting Minister of Energy Douglas Siagarima says government has reduced hours of load shedding from 12 to 8 hours, and it's been split into 4-hour intervals. Mr. Siagarima says the reduction in blackouts follows the Republican president's visit to Mamba Power Plant on 8th January 2023, where the head of state requested the firm to expedite maintenance works at the power plant to cushion the power deficit in the country. The minister further thanked management at Mamba Collieries on behalf of government for the positive response to the president's call, having completed the maintenance of the power plant 3 days ahead of schedule, as works were completed on 17th of January 2023, which has necessitated the power plant to now operate at full capacity. Mr. Siagarima was speaking at a media briefing in Lusaka.
You may recall that ZESCO commenced load shedding for 6 hours as a result of low water levels at Kariba Dam. This was further revised to 12 hours following the shutdown of a 150 megawatt unit at Mamba Collieries power plant for routine maintenance. The public may further recall that maintenance works at Mamba Collieries were scheduled to take place from 6th January to 20th January 2023. But following the intervention by the Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, when he visited the power plant on 8th January, Mamba committed to expedite the maintenance works in order to cushion the power deficit. I'm happy, therefore, to inform the general public that maintenance works at Mamba were completed on 7th January 2023, 3 days ahead of schedule, and the power plant is now operating at full capacity. With a restoration of 150 megawatts, generator at Mamba Collieries Limited, the current available generation as at 19th January 2023 is 1,910 megawatts against the power demand of 2,380 megawatts. This has resulted in a reduced power deficit from 620 megawatts to 470 megawatts. Given the above development, the load shedding duration has since been revised and being reviewed and revised downwards from 12 hours to 8 hours. In this regard, customers will now be load shed twice in a day, with each interval lasting 4 hours against the initial interval of 6 hours. This means customers will first be load shed for 4 hours, then have power for 8 hours, after which they will be load shed for another 4 hours. With this adjustment, customers will have power for a total of 16 hours in a day, as opposed to the previous 12 hours of power supply. I wish to assure the general public and the business community that government is doing everything possible to normalize the situation. I also wish to thank all Zambians for their understanding and patience as government continues to work towards finding a lasting solution to this undesirable situation.
Now, Roma Foreign Relations Institute has observed institutions from some stakeholders that President Hakainde Hichilema and other key government officials are traveling too much at the expense of national coffers and development. To the contrary, the institute that prides itself with foreign relations has appreciated President Hichilema and most of his senior cabinet ministers' foreign trips, saying they have achieved so far since